Hey guys, I'm doing a live today and it's one of our special ones, so we're going to get involved on mixed bike here, and then I'm going to get on the sharp whiteboard and talk about some of the parts and how sometimes people can overreact with parts, and also talk about diagnosing problems. This is to do with the M8 and ways of checking and saving the customer a lot of money, but delivering a really good job. Sometimes you don't have to buy a whole bunch of aftermarket parts to make a motor run or not chew oil. But anyway, we'll get on the sharp board. This bike come in a couple of weeks ago, and we tuned Mick's bike. It's a stage 4 Screaming Eagle, and they make reasonably good power. So it was tuned about, I'm saying about 10,000 Ks ago, and obviously it's a touring bike. And when we tuned this bike, call it a year or 6 months ago, Mick's bike's been running fine. Now, what we never hear of, but always welcome to talk about, when we do an APL tune, you never need to tune them ever again in their lifetime if the parts and everything stays the same. But Mick said his bike was a little bit off note, off the bottom, and could we check the tune? And we didn't build this motor, and I'll go into what played a part in how this was built. So we pull Mick's plugs out, and he's immediately got oil. It's not over rich. It's not over rich. The plug, it's oil. Oil has built up on the plug, and it's given the spark a hard time and given the engine a hard time and made it stumble slightly.
Just press from beginning at the top there, in the corner. That from beginning.
Oh yeah.
Yep, press that.
So,
And press next. And then you've got to press the pen.
what we'll
the
do,
pen there.
just go through this board here. Okay, so we've got this plug here of Mick's. It's not fuel loaded up, okay?
Just press the pen.
So,
Press pen up the top.
so yeah, there it is there. If it was a fuel load up, it'd be very wet around the outside here. It would have burned and cleared at certain points on the electrode or the strap, but it hasn't on this job. So immediately I'm not thinking tuning. I'll go next.
Next, yep, then I go to the next one.
And then,
Go back. That was the last slide.
sorry, technical issues.
Just press from beginning again. You can just filter through.
Okay. Yeah, so next thing that come up was that it wasn't a tuning issue. And then we did a leak down check, and I quickly knew what was going on. And because I had nothing to do with the cam that was fitted in here or the oil pump or any of this area, I knew to start checking it out. I knew it wasn't burning oil on the rings. And yeah, but then what started happening was we worked out, I pulled the cam out, and you can see the cam's
Press the pen again.
the cam, then the lifters haven't been following. The lifters haven't been following the cam. So it's not a race bike, he tours on it, and it's got a rev limiter set. But I can tell that the lifter has been dropping away from the cam, and it's almost like a valve bounce, or not a valve bounce, but it's a lifter not staying with the cam. So what we do is over here, Phil's filming as well, just to show behind the scenes. There's the cam that's in his bike. It's a Screaming Eagle cam. and you can see just here how it's not stayed with the lifter hasn't stayed with it. Also, Mick's bike was missing the updated oil pump backing plate for the standard oil pump. This helps when I was turning this motor over, excessive oil was just coming into the cam chest. And I knew then it didn't have that in it. Now, the standard oil pump isn't too bad, okay? It's a workable pump. There's nothing really damaged on it, but design is a little bit, probably could be better for the sort of riding that Mick's going to do, because Mick's touring on it. Some people never find this problem because they don't tour, but when you're touring on a bike, this problem will rear its head, and what's happening is this pump isn't getting enough oil out of the crankcase or the cam chest and sending it back to the tank, and it's starting to hang around the bottom end of the motor and splash around and give the plug a hiding. So when we buy these pumps, you can buy a lot of different brands. We just use S&S because we've got them in stock and we store them. This scavenging here is a lot thicker in width, so it can deal with a lot more volume, and the S&S pump is made with a lot more finesse and a lot more trouble's gone into it. There's hard anodizing. These two gears aren't so dissimilar, but the bulk or the movement that they can carry more oil helps this M8 engine out. Now, we're going to go, nothing's seized or broken. We could even put this cam back in, but Mick knows that we have preferred cams and better designed stuff, and for a few $100s we can put a cam in and make a lot more power than what he had. We're going to go to all this trouble, we will. The same thing again, the S&S pump, it's bushed, it's had a lot more attention to detail. The pressure relief's a lot stronger. It's a lot firmer and rigid compared to the cast pump. There's nothing wrong with the cast pump. You don't have to go out and buy all this stuff if you're, hanging around the city or hanging around New South Wales, riding around. Don't get in a panic like some people try and sell you all this stuff. I'm not trying to sell all this stuff. It's just what Mick's doing, and he's very committed to his riding, and he needs nothing to go wrong. This is a guarantee, the S&S pump plate. Now, the other thing we're going to do is save Mick some money. We're going to use his original Screaming Eagle push rods. They've had a little bit of work, not from time, but just from a few little bounces here and there. But you don't have to go crazy, like I said, and replace every single thing. Because I've raced engines all my life, this push rod business in cars and sprint cars and motorbikes and Harleys, and it's just stuff that I've been around. I know what I can get away with and not spend a whole heap of money on a customer's bike. Even these tappet cuffs, they say to replace all these things. I've seen these in LS motors do over 10,000 RPM. This Harley's only doing 6. If you want to replace it, you can, but truth be known, this particular material is quite very good for wear, and sometimes it's better than aluminium. So yeah, you can save a few $100s here. You don't need to put them in. If you want to put them in, you can, but I'm about making a lot of power. This motor will never come apart again. We'll put all the new stuff in for Mick's bike, and we'll tune it, and we won't talk about it again. And I'm really welcoming and thanking all the dealers that ring me up and people that ring me up and ask for this advice. It's really good. It saves people a lot of time and money. And give the team a call, because we've been through all this. We race bikes, and it's all done here at APL. So I'm looking forward to getting the cam in, getting all the oil pumps set up. Mick won't be burning any oil, or oil won't be disrupting the combustion chamber or getting around the piston and crank, and he'll be off, and we'll get in the dyno and make some good numbers, and I'll do a comparison and show you guys in a couple of days. Thanks very much for listening.